Ba-dum-bum-bum. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap, number 1601. Who am I? Before we answer that question, we've got a couple of things to catch up on. So, what's today's date? 19th, 18th, 17th. Okay, so we've got a couple of movies to catch up on what we've seen, what we've done over the last couple of days for our Christmas movie month. First of all, I had a great day at Networking Next Level. It was awesome. If you saw Saturday's show, which was episode 1598, you would have seen Casey on here. We were talking about Networking Next Level. We had a blast today. It was a great day. I even picked up a couple of hints and tips too along the way. So on 17th, where am I up to? Sunday. Oh, I haven't done one since. So Sunday, I watched the Noel Diary that came out in 2022. It's on Netflix. That was a really cool movie. I had not seen it before. It was based on the book by Richard Paul Evans, who was the guy that wrote The Notebook and a few other those types of books. I have not read the book. I didn't know it was a book until I'm watching the movie, and it says based on the book by, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Didn't research that one very well, but it was a really cool story about this guy went to clear out his estranged mother's house. She had passed away the week before, and so he went to, and she was a bit of a hoarder, but one room in the house was completely left exactly as it was, and that was from his brother who passed away when he was 7 from an accident. And he hadn't seen his father in years and in like 3 decades. And it's just a thing of coming together and finding things. But then this mysterious woman turns up, and she has a connection to the house and the people in the house, or thinks she does. And so they find this diary, Noel's diary, and it gives them all, it unravels a lot of stuff, as well as helping people along the way. And there's a couple of twists and turns in there as well, like there always is with his books. But it was just a very beautifully done movie. Yes, I did need the tissues, but I loved that one. That one may be going on the Christmas list because it's a good one. There's sometimes I just need, it's one of those movies that will make me cry every time I watch it. I could tell that. And there's sometimes that I just need, like I feel like I need sometimes I can, if I feel like I'm crying, I'm going to allow the emotions to come through and sit down and cry. But there's times when I feel like crying, I just can't get it out. And so there's certain movies that I will watch because I know they will trigger and help the crying process. So that's one of those movies that's going to do that. Then last night I got to watch The Christmas Lodge. Now I'd seen this movie once 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was. I last saw it. I like this movie. It's a chick flick. And this one was about a woman who and her child. And so Noel shows the importance of keeping records. Why you should keep records, why you should tell your story. That's what that was the big lesson and takeaway from that one, because you're going to have generations that are going to come behind you that are going to follow you, and they're going to want to know about your life. So this girl wanted to know because she thinks her birth mother used to live in the house, and they find this diary, and it takes them on a journey. And so she gets to discover why her birth mother gave her up. And that was because she was able to find her diary and read it. So that's important. There's an important lesson in that. The Christmas Lodge is all about family traditions. And it's a cool story. This girl ends up going up to Christmas Lodge for a long weekend, goes with her boyfriend that she's had for a while. He comes back and he's sort of like, nature's not good for me. I'm a city guy. Bye-bye. And while she's up there, they end up at Christmas Lodge, which is a lodge that her and her family used to go to for years, for like around summer, and that's summer and winter, that sort of thing. They used to go and travel up to the Christmas Lodge. It was kind of like their getaway place for this family. And when they get to the Christmas Lodge, she's going through some of the photographs, and she finds photographs from her childhood, and then they start reminiscing. Then when she gets back home, she's visiting with her grandfather, and he gets her to hand out this box. And what I loved about this piece is this, and I was like, man, this is the time when people need to put a recorder on of some sort, whether it's a phone, a voice recorder, whatever, because he was sitting, he got her to pull this box down, and inside were all these photographs, and he just and they're just sitting there and they're just talking story after story after story after story after story. And I'm just like, what a gift to be able to give future generations. You can, if you can sit down with your grandkids and go through some of your old photographs and just tell them story after story after story. My favorite books growing up were photo albums. I'd go to my grandparents' place, and they had the old black albums with the black pages and the little corners on the photos and the white writing underneath. And I would pick it up and I'd look down through the corner because there was certain pictures that I knew what those stories were, and those were the ones that I liked. And so I would take the photo album to my grandfather or my grandmother and ask them to, take me through the album, show me the album and stuff, and tell me who was in there and that sort of thing. So I would hear these stories. Do I remember them now? Unfortunately, no. And we didn't record them in any way. So that's part of lost history. So if you're going to be talking with somebody of an older generation, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and some people even have 3 great-grandparents, the third time great-grandparent that may still be alive. There's these generations that are going on. Take the time to sit down and record them walk them through a photo album and just have them tell you the stories behind the photographs. When was that photograph taken? Where were you? What were you doing? Just those sorts of questions that come up. And that's what this one, Christmas Lodge, to me, was the big lesson I took away from that one, was recording those stories, living that history. So the family got together and ended up restoring Christmas Lodge because it got into disrepair for a while. And it was just such a beautiful story about a building that they used to go and stay in for years. They hadn't been there for a number of years. And then it brought the family back together again in very different ways. And so it was just a really cool story. And tonight, who am I? We are watching Christmas Child. This one is written by Max Lucado. I believe there's a book called by the same name as well. And he writes some really cool stories that go very deep. And in this one, there's a guy who is, hang on, I got to go to IMDb because it describes it perfectly. So it's all based around a life-sized, hang on, where did it go? A life-size nativity scene that leads a man to learn about his past and his lost family. Now, the character is, hang on, I'm going to go to the character, Jack Davenport, and he is, he's a journalist who lives in Chicago. And he's in a low point in his life. He's about to turn 40, this is what this says, and he and his wife seem on the verge of divorce, and his career is at a low point. He badly needs a story in Texas, which requires him to be away from his wife and her family at Christmas time. He also realizes he is the reason why his marriage is failing. So there's a lot of deep searching going on here with all of this, a lot of internal reflection and everything else. His life seems purposeless. His last known relative, his father, died almost a year ago. He actually was adopted at birth, but has no information on his birth parents. When he goes into a safe deposit box, he finds what may be the clue to his origins, an old black and white photograph of a church near Clearwater, Texas. He decides to stop there first before pursuing his story in Dallas. Will he find the answers that he seeks, or will he just find more roadblocks in life's frustrations? So this movie, I think I may have seen it. When I read that description, I thought, I think I might have seen this one before. But if I have, it's been a very long time since I have seen it. And if I remember correctly from what I think I may have seen, this story goes deep. He has to do this internal reflection to find out who is it? He's asking that question, who am I? And it takes you through the process, and so this is and I'm sort of like, this is going to be another good one, another genealogy lover one. And 3 nights in a row, I've had movies that all relate to genealogy in some way, of keeping the stories, telling your story so that future generations know who you are and why you did what you did. Why did you make the decisions that you made? Why did you move from this city to this city? And if there was any conflict in the family, it may even the journals may even discover why is there this feud going on with these family members, why are these family members estranged, and all of this sort of stuff. So you may find out that from writing your story. In the Christmas Lodge, it was all about keeping traditions and preserving those memories and those traditions and restarting those traditions. And then in this one here, The Christmas Child, it's all about that internal reflection and discovering who you are, and maybe finding out that your life is not as purposeless as you seem to think it is. So it's all about internal reflection and what he can do to turn that around. So that's the who am I part of this thing. Who is he? Where has he come from? So he's going to have to do a little searching, and that gives you a little taste as to what some genealogists have to go through to help clients find their connections to their past, to help uncover those stories. So the last 3 nights, the last 3 movies have been very good with, if you think about it from a genealogical perspective, or family history perspective, it's very good. The last 3 movies have been very good in giving, telling the importance why you should do this or how traditions started. And then tonight's one is going to be inward reflection on discovering who is Jack Davenport? What is his role in this world? And yes, I know the stories are all fiction and everything else, but still there are lessons that you can, some fiction stories you can actually learn lessons from. So we're going to go watch The Christmas Child this evening. And if I remember correctly, it's another tearjerker one. At least I have a box of tissues that sit next to my table, on my end table there. So, have you seen any of these movies? The Noel Diary. I've posted them all on Facebook. I put a couple of pictures from the beginning of the movie there. I asked the questions, have you seen this movie? What is your favorite scenes or songs if it's a musical? I can't wait to get to the musical. I've got to do a musical month. Oh my gosh. There's going to be so much about that. I mean, you guys have been awesome with your responses, and the favorite responses come through so far have been, the most responses come through is from Love Actually, The Holiday, and White Christmas. I've gotten lots of comments on those from people who love watching those movies and have seen them. And some of them have seen them for years. And somebody even asked me, how is it that you've gone this long without seeing White Christmas? I have no answer for that one. I don't know. And so I'm looking forward to tonight's one, The Christmas Child. It came out in 2004 and is available on Prime. As if you're a Prime member, you can get that there. My list is starting to get very small. And I'm like thinking, today's only the 19th. I've got the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, the 29th, and the 30th. So I've got 10 days left. And someone going, hang on, you didn't count that correctly. Yeah, because the 28th, we watched Legally Blonde for my wedding anniversary. And on New Year's Eve, we're watching Trading Places. So I've got 10 nights, including tonight, of movies to go, and I don't have enough on my list. Hang on, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5, and if I can find my Blu-ray DVD player, my Blu-ray player, then I will have 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, because there's 4 movies that I got to buy to watch them if I'm watching them online. And I ain't going to do that. So, because I have the DVDs for these. And so, sorry, the Blu-ray. I have Blu-ray for, actually, I wonder if the Blu-ray has DVD on it. Because I know where there's a DVD player. But I need to find my Blu-ray player, because I know I definitely have all of these on Blu-ray, but I don't know if it's a Blu-ray / DVD collection. So I might have to go and have a look at that. Because they may have both. And then I can pull out the DVD player and plug them in. Yay. Never thought of that. Amazing. So then I could have 9. So I'm still a little short. So if you have any Christmas movies that you enjoy and that you want to watch, that you'd like to recommend, please let me know, because I'm always looking for different movies. There are some that I'm not going to watch again. Some I may watch once more and then decide whether they go on the list or not. But anyway, that's it from us for this evening. We're going to go see if Jack Davenport can find out who he is and help him with his internal reflection. And we will be back tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Hei konera.